Hello, SpeedGaming. Thank you for being patient as I fixed up some audio issues. We should have some audio momentarily when this race does get started. My name is Fortify, and I'm very glad and excited to be doing commentary between satorha and karterfreak for this Mawkin Bracket bout. I just have one more thing to pull up before figuring out everything. And we should be good to go. So let me go ahead and... Yep, here we go. Alright, so this should be a very fun race. I know for a fact that both of these runners are going to be doing short boost. I know Sat was practicing it earlier, as well as Carter. Right off the bat, Sat is a little bit ahead of Carter, but not by much. So most of this early run with the movement right here is going to be just movement, really precise movement, and on the way to the first major skip of the game, the Elaine skip right here. Ooh, Sat having a little bit of issues with it, gives Carter some time to catch up. So both runners neck and neck now on their way to the early cloak pseudo. And Carter does get it a little bit quicker than Sat, so both runners neck and neck at the moment. This Scorpius fight should be a great bit of help. I'm sorry, a great bit of permanent back who never did. Alright, so Sat getting a slightly faster Scorpius fight. So again, one of the biggest helpful with the early cloak bit of help, I guess. I don't know. I'm finding words difficult at the moment, but one of the biggest reasons for early cloak and getting Scorpius first and getting the cloak first is because this enables the Emmys to, or at least this white Emmy, to not be spawned for a little bit, so you can run through the Artaria Emmy zone free of consequence and not having to worry about the Emmy running into you. So it does, on top of being a little bit faster, it is helpful to be able to make sure that the Emmy is not going to be accidentally running into you. So both runners do the item tutorial skip, so that should be saving about 6 seconds with the short boost routing. Sat going to be coming up to this water skip right here, and he gets it first try. So great job on his part. Carter not far behind. Carter also gets it first try. Very good from both runners. Good movement from Sat so far to send in Artaria. Both runners do get the water platform skip first try, so that's very good. That trick can be pretty annoying when you miss it a couple times, so good job to both runners. Looking like a 4:12 charge beam time for satorha and a 4:17 for Carter. So 5 seconds separating these runners right now. This is looking to be, if this keeps up, this is looking to be a very close contested race. So this is definitely going to be one of the stronger ones. Great movement from both runners, climbing up Artaria once again. A lot of these zones end in Ia, so sometimes it's easy to get them mixed up where exactly the runners are. Carter accidentally missing the ledge. Good movement from both runners, though. So now that Sat has turned on this thermal platform, he will be heading to the Magus Skip. This Magus Skip is what turns on the Emmy. So turn on the Emmy will be able to, and he should be able to get through this and make his way to the central unit kill. And again, Carter not far behind at all.
Uploading data.
There is no useless you can unzero.
Adam dialogue separating both runners right now. This is how close this early game has been for them. Coming up to Magus Skip for Sat. Misses the no setup, but gets the second try with the setup. Meanwhile, let's see how Carter does. Oh, misses the jump. So both runners get Magus Skip second try, so a little bit of an opportunity for Carter to gain some time there, though. We'll see how Sat's going to be coming up to this Emmy kill first. We'll see if he can plant or if he will have to slide down or slide under it. The movement looks good. Sat going for the full plant, and he does get it. Outstanding job. Let's chat now. Let's see how Carter does with his attempt. Carter opting to go a little safer and slide underneath. But both runners get in past the white Emmy with little issues, so great job on both of them. They'll now be heading up to Caterus, where they will be going through a couple more movement sections before heading to Adam Skip. Yeah, not a lot of time is separating both of these runners. This is looking really good so far. Good movement from Sat and Carter so far. This is really good. This is about as optimal as you could get so far for Sat, leaving Artaria. Go for the damage boost now. He gets it, great job. Carter, meanwhile, will be entering his damage boost attempt. And both runners get the damage boost first try, so great job. So both runners are going to be heading into Catarus now. Like I said, this is early Catarus. There's a lot of movement until we get to some of the more difficult tricks. I'm not sure if Carter goes for it. I know Sat does try to do the Hell Pseudo, so we'll see if Carter tries to match.
Uploading data.
A little bit of a hiccup for Carter, but gets down just fine. This is the fourth and final Atom room before the Atom Skip, so we'll see how those attempts for Atom Skip go for both of these runners. Grabbing a ledge accidentally. See if he goes for super boost here. Does manage to get it, good job. I'm not sure if Carter goes for super boost, but we'll see momentarily. Oh my goodness, Sat getting hit by the ply on the way down. This might just be what Carter needs. He does get, they do get the super boost, so. Ooh, Sat not getting the blob. We'll see if he can make it through the Hell Run. Okay, he does. Carter now going for it. No problems for Carter going through. So Carter probably just got back 3 or 4 seconds, presumably. So if I had to guess, Sat might definitely go for the Hell Pseudo, knowing that he just lost that little bit of time. So, but if I had to guess, I'm not specifically sure if he will, but we'll see here. Good spin falls from Sat coming down. He is going for the Hell Pseudo, taking his time to line up his shot. Gets it second try, nice. With this Hell Pseudo, if you have the Artaria energy tank, you can attempt it 4 tries before having to go around. Carter opted to not go around, opted to take the switch method of taking out the switch, or the going all the way around, I should say, sorry. So Sat will be heading to Atom Skip first, so we'll see how these Atom Skip attempts go. This could be, although being primarily a rhythm trick, this trick can become very not fun if you miss it a couple of times. So we'll see how this trick, if it behaves or not for Sat coming up right now. Sat having a little bit of difficulties with the trick. Carter, meanwhile, has caught up. He is at Atom Skip now. Or they. I'm so sorry. I keep forgetting that pronoun. Carter. Oh, close. Sat gets it. So Sat gets through, but Carter is having a little bit of difficulty getting through. So the time that they got back must have been. Oh no. I think this is good for Carter. It is. Okay. So Sat having an uncharacteristically troublesome Atom Skip, but Carter not being able to take full advantage of it. So still a little bit of time separating both of the runners. Great job on both of their parts, though, to get through that. Ooh, good little spin on the jump to set Carter up. Good melee for Sat. Gets the reverse at him pretty solidly. And will now be making his way to Dairon to pick up the wide beam. Let's see, Carter, how they go for this now. Ooh, good job. That was very close. It looked like the Emmy might spot them for a second. Good movement from Sat on the way to the Dairon tram. Yeah, you can tell Sat's not happy with that Cataris, but we'll see how this the rest of this sections go for him moving forward. Looking at a 15-10 tram, I believe, for Sat. About 15:27 for Carter, so about 17.5 seconds are separating the runners right now, which is still very, very close. Good wall kick from Sat, the slant there. This is a very close match for both of these runners. I know both of them are a bit anxious to have gotten into this and to be facing each other. So this is looking already to be very good with only 20 seconds, less than 20 seconds separating them thus far. Runners briefly high-fiving. One of the closer high-fives, though, that we'll get, I'm sure. Sat on his way out of Dairon now, heading back to Cataris to collect the... Ooh, getting hit on the wide beam block. To collect the Morph Ball. 17:14 wide beam time for Carter. Good job getting past the wide beam box for Carter. Yeah, this is I'm getting antsy just watching this, casting this, because this is looking to be very close. I'm very excited to see how the rest of this race turns out. I believe there's about a little over 20 seconds of a factor that Sat has a lead on. So this is still, despite that though, obviously we can't count Carter out just yet. This is still a very close race with a lot of run left. So Sat trying to go for the missile charge shot strategy that has recently been showing up. Good kill. Carter on their way. Ooh, good jump strat for Carter there. I like that a lot. Sat opted not to go for Professor Stupid, opted to go a little bit more of a safer strat here. So completely respectable when you're playing against someone such as Carter. We'll see if Carter answers back with the safer play, or if he does, or they do go for Professor Stupid. Apologies, also still getting used to the pronouns. I am sorry for misunderstanding that at first. Carter getting very good job on Professor Stupid. Gets the kill. Great job. Sat on his way to Artaria to get the various suit, and Carter again right on his heels. So we'll see if Sat opts to skip this energy tank, or if he decides to take it. He does skip it, so this is a faster. Overall, this Missile Plus tank is a little slower to grab in rookie mode, but it does provide security for Cray. So we'll see if Carter opts to grab it, or if they also decide not to grab the missile tank here. Both runners opt in to skip the security on trade. So I honestly completely agree with that decision. Both of these runners know that they have to be doing whatever is necessary, whatever is fastest to keep up with each other. So a completely respectable decision on both of their parts. At getting the full slide across right there, good job. It's a little bit more difficult than it looks, so. That started this little heated section as Carter makes their way to it. Mindstormer says in the chat that they think they are literally one mistake apart, and I would probably agree with that. Sat is very mindful of who he's playing against, so he wants to make sure that he does not play, and I'm sure Carter as well is very mindful of who they are playing against as well. This is a very exciting race so far. Alright, Sat on the way back to Catalyst to deal with Kraid. This Kraid fight is going to be a very important part of this run for both of these runners. Any mistakes, bad RNG, not getting the IWJs up, because I know both of the runners go for them, this could be a very big turning point in this race, potentially, for both of the runners. So we'll see how Kraid... we'll see the kind of Kraid fight for Sat first, because he is going to be getting there first, and then from Carter not too long after that. Ooh, Sat I shouldn't say that, but Sat accidentally rolling back into the morph tunnel, so that's going to be a little bit of a lost time. Again, Carter right on Sat's heels, so... All right, so let's see how this how Kraid treats Sat right now, looking at this first Kraid fight. Good RNG thus far. Misses a charge shot for Sat, but does get a good phase 1. Misses one of the jumps, but does get up there in 5, so that's not bad at all. Carter, meanwhile, entering the Kraid fight. Avoids the punch. Ooh, double punch. Not punch, but a counter. So, punch into a counter is a little bit unfortunate. Sat exit in the fight as Carter enters phase 2, does get the IWJs up. A little bit slightly better RNG for Carter on this fight, I would say. So good Kraid fight from both runners. Maybe not as optimal as they would have preferred, but still a good fight for both runners. I would honestly argue that Carter might have made up a second or two in that fight off of the better phase 2 RNG. Sat entering the purple teleporter at a 25-25. About an 18-second difference between the runners right now. So right here we'll see Sat go to the left rather than going to the right, confirming that he is going for the short boost route. Carter presumably will be doing the same. Good Emmy spawn for Sat. You love to see the yellow Emmy cooperate right there. Good jump. Carter, meanwhile, head into the left, as predicted. Not getting the charge shot there, unfortunately, but does get a second try. Hopefully the yellow Emmy does give them good RNG as well. And it appears... Ooh, no, it does not. Carter making the best of it regardless. Does get the single wall jump. And they're in the clear. Carter making the best of a bad Emmy spawn. So great job on their part. Sat, meanwhile, on his way to collect the bombs, just turned on the second generator in Dairin. Both runners kind of once again mini high-fiving each other. So both of these runners are now going to be heading to Berenia 1. In this area, they will be attempting backdoor flash. Ooh, good hole-in-one for Sat. They will be attempting backdoor flash because they do not have the grapple beam in order to go underneath, potentially, if the backdoor flash doesn't work out. So this can potentially be another time saver that Carter may or may not need if Sat isn't able to pull these off within an appropriate amount of time. So we'll see how this Berenia section treats both of these runners, but it should be pretty good to watch. Carter barely missing the hole-in-one, unfortunately. So once again, both of these runners do have to go underneath with this section of Barenia, since they do not have the grapple beam in order to just grapple the block. But Sat making it look super easy right here. Carter, meanwhile, entering Barenia. Good coyote jump from Sat. Carter, meanwhile, making their way through this little underneath section. Ooh, accidentally doesn't hit the missile on that vacuum. So it does get sucked up a little bit. Sat attempting a backdoor flash now. Wow, Sat gets backdoor flash first try. Outstanding. Oh no, Carter getting sucked into the pool of shame. Unfortunate mistake by Carter. Alright, we'll see his their backdoor flash attempts now. Oh, it drops one of the last bombs. Alright, Carter does get backdoor flash second try. Meanwhile, satorha is exiting Barenia, does get the pause buffer pseudos relatively quickly, and will be making his way back to Dairin to take out the yellow Emmy and collect the speed booster. Carter does manage to keep the shutter door open, so doesn't have to wait for those extra 3 seconds. I believe it was Sat on the earlier race that mentioned not being able to keep the shutter door open is the equivalent of failing it backdoor flash another attempt. So Carter going for the pause buffer pseudos here as well. And does get them both relatively quickly. So again, just the Barenia tram is separating both of these runners right now. This is still anyone's race to take at this point. Sat does have a small lead though. Going for the charge missile shots as well on this Emmy. Or I'm sorry, a central unit, not Emmy. Brains of the Emmy, one might argue, but good setup on the yellow kill for satorha. Carter, meanwhile, making their way to the central unit fight. Wow, that is about as optimal as you could get for Sat right there. So that's a very, very good job on Sat's part for that Emmy kill. Carter knocking the shielding off of the central unit now. Oh, opts for missiles first, but then switches to the mash. Is that going to be heading now to the yellow teleporter in an effort to head to Artaria now to collect the grapple beam and then head to the short boost. And again, short boost is going to be one of the biggest factors deciding the race between these two runners. Whether or not they're able to get it first try, or because I know both runners are going for a first try short boost. So Sat electing to skip the E-Taint right here. Ooh, doesn't get the full speed keep, but does get it there relatively quickly. Messes up right at the end. Carter now making their way through this movement section towards the yellow teleporter. Enter an Artaria now, on the way to the grapple beam. Both runners do this setup where they break the speed booster blocks there, so they won't have to use a Shine Spark once they're back here. So it feels so good to have the flash shift for this part of the game, get in the grapple beam. I'm so jealous. Carter teleporting now to Artaria. Sat heading to short boost. Ooh, Sat getting bumped on his way down. Carter, meanwhile, making their way to the grapple beam now. Alright, moment of truth for Sat here. Oh, just barely misses the store. Oh, Sat taking a death in the short boost. This might be exactly what Carter needs to catch up. Carter not very far behind now at all, so we'll see how these attempts go for both of the runners. Carter attempting their first short boost, opting to grab a little bit more health. Carter has made up the lead thanks to the unfortunate death that Sat took doing short boost. Carter gets the short boost first. Oh, but doesn't get the... Oh no, is not able to get the Shine Spark off to get out of the water. This is so close. Oh my goodness. Carter unable to get the store. Sat meanwhile still trying to get health for to survive the cold. Sat attempting again. Fails the store again. Carter also getting more health, going for another round of short boosting attempt in. Carter gets another short boost, and this is now broken. Carter will be taking a bit of a lead against Sat. Sat, meanwhile, still trying to get health. Sat finally grabbing short boost. And getting up there. So, wow, what a very intense bit of affairs right here. That now grabbing the screw attack. as Carter makes their way out of the cold back to the yellow teleporter. What a dramatic turn of events in this race between Sat and Carter. Carter has a very small lead at the moment, but can't count either one of these runners out yet. These are some of the best, so. Carter will be getting back to the yellow teleporter first. Sat sparking up now, not too far behind. Short boost did indeed happen. I'm just now reading the chat. So, yeah, short boost is, again, very volatile trick, and you can tell that Sat is very disappointed with the way that, those attempts ended up going for him. Carter manages to avoid the DLC missile, and will now be making their way up to the Ferenia Quiet Road fight. Yo, was that another Pokemon update? Let's go. Sat does look to be a little bit upset. So we'll see how he handles the rest of this run, because Sat is by no means out of this race just yet. Hopefully a patch. I do believe that the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet were finally patched yesterday, so maybe another one in the works, so either way, that's good. Sat heading up to Ferenia now. An elevator is separating both of these runners. This is insane. Quiet Robe Keep attempt for Carter. I'm not sure. I think this is a little slow. Yeah. Unfortunate. Good fight for Carter. Sat missing the Quiet Robe Keep. Oh no. Getting a little bit stuck on the because of the Sonics, but Sat messing up, or I'm sorry, Carter messing up the getting up. Good fight. Let's see this fight attempt from Sat now. Not an ideal fight for Sat, but one that he'll take nonetheless. Figured with the name Fortify that I'd be a Monster Hunter guy. I am indeed a Monster Hunter guy as well. Monster Hunter is pretty fun. Wow, this race is heating up. Sat is not happy with the way that this mid-game is going for him. Carter, meanwhile, finally getting back down into Dairen, will be making their way to Barenia 2. Barenia 2 is one of the more movement-heavy sections of this run, so we'll see how Carter is able to translate their lead. I'm not sure that they know they have a lead, but we'll see how it works out. Sat now landing in Dairen to once again head to Barenia 2. Good morph fall from Carter there. That is a lot more difficult to do than it looks. I'd love to answer more questions, but this race is about the runners, so tune into my stream if you would like more information about what I do in Monster Hunter and Pokemon. Above that, follow myself and follow the runners, more importantly, because both of these runners are very, very good. And this race has turned into quite a baiter thus far. Yeah, Sat does look a little bit shaken, so hopefully he's able to keep his focus in the coming parts. Carter going for this keep right here. It doesn't get it, unfortunately, but does make it through the tunnel. Meanwhile, Sat will be now entering the same area. Does get the full keep here. Drop skip for Carter. Ooh, these can be very annoying attempts and fall out of control very quickly for the runners if they miss it a couple times. Good tower for Carter. Sat very close. .4508 elevator for Carter. .17 for Sat. Less than 10 seconds are currently separating these runners. Thank you, SpeedGaming 2, for the big raid. You are just in time for this looking to be very, very close race between satorha and karterfreak of the Mawkin Bracket for the Metroid Dread Any % Tournament going on. Again, less than 10 seconds are currently separating these runners at the moment, if load times are to be believed. So, Carter making their way to this Chozo Soldier, or Robot Chozo Soldier fight. Sat starting the fight as Carter ends it. Good fight for both runners. This is getting very, very close. Carter still holding on to a very small lead. .38 super missiles for Carter. 44, I believe, for Sat. So very, very close. Carter having a little bit of trouble getting up, and that closes the gap even more. These runners are neck and neck. Sat taking a very small lead here once again. Ooh, this is turning into a banger, everyone. Both runners head into Elune right now. Sat with a very small lead. This is going to be a very important section for both of these runners, movement-wise. Once again, they are doing short boosts, so they do have to avoid the item tutorial. And there are 2 triggers of the item tutorial right before Plasma Beam, so... Good movement for Sat. And again, Carter right behind. We'll see if Sat is able to skip the item tutorials. And he does. And Carter is not able to skip the item tutorial. Oh no! SpeedGaming 4, thank you so much for the raid. Once again, we are in a very close race between satorha and karterfreak of the Mawkin Bracket. Sat does get the full keep, I believe. He does. Carter, meanwhile, right behind him. Oh, and he loses the keep. Oh, no! So Sat ending the fight as Carter enters phase 2. One positive, although it sucks that Carter does lose the item tutorial, one positive of this is they will not have to worry about avoiding it in the future. They will be able to skip it, while Sat will have to keep that in mind moving forward. So there is still the possibility that Sat messes up and accidentally autopilots a slide accidentally, but Carter, meanwhile, will not have to worry about the item tutorial now that they have procced it. Good sparks for both runners, heading back to Gathering to deal with the Ice Emmy. See if Sat is able to nail this cutscene skip. Second try cutscene skip, no big deal. Entering a pretty big movement-heavy section on the way to the Ice Emmy, so we'll see if Sat is able to get the full keep, and does not. Garat grabs the ledge. Oh no! Emmy in not a good spot, does get frozen. This might be what Carter needs to bring the race back in their favor. Does have to wait for the Emmy to pass. Unfavorable Emmy spawns for both runners. But they do make it past. Sat jumping out over the mushrooms now on the way to this central unit kill. Carter does get to the water bomb jumps. Great kill from Sat. Carter will now be entering this kill as well. Ooh, very good diagonal spark. Very good job from Carter. Wow, that was really cool to watch. Sat, meanwhile, now entering this Emmy kill, as Carter, again, very close by. Carter with a bit of a slower Emmy kill, but the fact that it dies is the most important part. Uh, 5206 kill for Sat, meanwhile. 17 for Carter, so about 13 seconds if I'm doing math correctly. Very good chance that I'm not, but about 13 seconds separating both of the runners right now as they head to the gravity suit. I don't believe they will be going for any cross bombs or anything early, so. Carter having a little bit of an issue grappling up. Oh my goodness, Sat! I didn't even catch that. Sat must have fallen down, not grabbed the ledge. Carter doesn't have any issues. That just brings this race this much closer. $53.11 teleporter. 53.15 teleporter for Carter. 4 seconds separating these runners as they head to the gravity suit now. This is this is turning into a race, everyone. Let's hear it for these runners. Once again, if you're not already following them, I highly encourage following both Sat and Carter. This race is spicy, to say the least. That does get through the Berenia puzzle first try. Carter as well. So something that Sat did skip is these missiles. Carter elected to grab them. So we'll see if Carter ends up grabbing the second set of missiles, or if Sat grabs the second set of missiles as well. I don't think Sat would be going for Ravenbeak with only 30 missiles. $54.36 gravity time. The runners high-fiving very briefly. So that made up a little bit of time. I think it's about 13 seconds now. Does manage to get the spark up to the Berenia set of twins. Carter will now make their attempt to get up here. And does get up. Sat with a good twins fight thus far. Great job from Sat. But again, Carter right on his tail. Good fight so far from Carter. Good RNG to start. Good job staying up on the robots. Trying to kill this one that's more dead with the screw attack. About 14 seconds again separating these runners. Sat now heading to Golzuna now for this cross-bomb fight. This fight is another big area where these fights could, or these runs could turn for both of these runners. Sat will be dealing with Golzuna first. Does get the store. Very close fight for Sat. Carter now entering the Golzuna fight for the cross-bombs. Okay, Carter does get through Golzuna. Watching with bated breath, to be totally honest. About 20 seconds separating them at crossbomb. Sat having a little bit of issues getting through the crossbomb maze, the actual worst room in the game. Again, Carter right on his heels. Carter doesn't have any of the issues that Sat had getting through the maze, so Sat very displeased with that room. 6 seconds separating the runners at the moment. This is this race, everyone. This is looking to be close. Sat getting full charges, or full spark charges here. So does Carter. Keep in mind, Carter can freely slide through these item tutorial triggers now. Sat taking a little bit of damage on the big robot here. I'm not sure if it has a name. Carter avoiding the damage. 5909 when Sat regains control of Samus. 17 when Carter does. Sat does open the space jump door. We'll see if Carter also is able to open the door. This is a slow opening door, so it's optimal for the runners to open it now. Carter wasn't able to open it, so does have to spend a little bit of time now to open the door. Good Emmy spawn for satorha on his way to SQ for the storm missiles. Ooh, decent Emmy spawn, but Carter is not able to get the speed keep, so does, oh no, does get hit twice by the Emmy. Oh, this is not what you want to see if you're Carter. Having to wait for that Emmy door to open, that is unfortunate. Carter triggers the Emmy again as Sat gets ready to fight Golzuna, or I'm sorry, SQ. We'll see if he goes for a 1 round on SQ or if he can get it in 2. Ooh, messes up the setup for the kill. Does get a 2 round though, I believe. Carter, meanwhile, entering the SQ fight now. They will save some time if they are able to get this. Carter, 1 rounds SQ! Oh my goodness! Wow, what a fight from karterfreak. Sat entering the second set of twins now. Get a not so favorable RNG with the robots, but does dispatch them with relative ease. Gonna make his way to space jump now. Carter entering this fight right now as well. Ooh, a very interesting strat, going for storm missiles on the gold robot in addition to the spark. That was clean from Carter. Having a little bit of issues getting into the... or getting through the shutter. The runners are high-fiving again. Carter on his way to... or on their way to grabbing the space jump as Sat leaves it, but a little bit of issue with the storm missile switch for Carter. Sat getting a little bit of help there from the ply. Yeah, storm missiles are a great item indeed. Storm missiles and cross bombs both. Sat dropping a space jump, but not mattering too much. Oh no, this Carter losing another switch for the missiles. Carter is actually out of missiles. He has to go. They have to go and get missiles. Oh no! Carter is begging for an ice Emmy or for a green X drop right now. Oh no, this is a disaster. I was wondering what they were doing, but I didn't see their missile count. Oh no, Carter! Oh, you hate to see it. Carter finally gets missiles, but it might be, that might be what decides this race. Carter needing to farm missiles. Sat now making his way to finish off the Wave Beam Emmy right now. Oh, that is awful. You really hate to see that. Carter does grab the kill on the CU. As Sat gets ready to head back to Hanubia to start the endgame gauntlet. Both runners elected not to go for any kind of setup, not any deep blue. They are going just for the full quick kill on this Emmy. So we'll see how Sat was able to get it by sliding underneath. We'll see if Carter is able to grab it right now as well. You can only miss 4 shots on this Emmy in order to get its faceplate off right here. So great job from Carter. And Carter does get the Emmy kill. Wow. Great job on Carter, but wow, you really hate to see it having to lose so much time to having to farm missiles. That's unfortunate. Carter even saying it in the chat, storm missiles robbed me. Wholeheartedly agree. Sat taking on the red Chozo soldier right now, as Carter makes their way out of the ME zone. Carter is going for a speed keep here in an effort to make up some time. Well done. Not being able to grab the ledge onto the platform, unfortunately, for Carter, but Carter making their way to Hanubia now. So 106.10 for Sat grabbing power bombs. Carter making their way up to the power bomb right now. We'll see if Sat doesn't get power bomb scammed right here. Right at the end, so good good RNG there for satorha. Sat gets up with no problems at all. Carter not having as optimal as of a fight on the red soldier as they might have liked, but so Carter about a minute and a half behind now, which is, again, very unfortunate because of the unfortunate farm-in for missiles. So Sat will now be heading to the final of the 3 bosses, Raven Beach. Carter unfortunately getting powerbomb scammed a bit. We'll see if they can get power bombs right here. They need at least 1. There we go. Carter getting up very well. Sat now heading to Raven Beach. Sat's gonna flash across. No problems. Gonna drop this power bomb right here. Carter unfortunately missing some missiles against the elite soldier here. Oh, does have to take the counter to get the shield off of the gold Chozo. So not the best RNG for Carter here. Sat meanwhile going for gold skip. Does get it with the storm missiles, I believe. He does, yes. A little bit of some bad phase 1 RNG for Sat, but did make the best of it. Now heading up into phase 2. not getting very good phase 2 RNG either. Yeah, you can see on his face, he's very puzzled by that RNG. Carter now entering, or going up the teleporter to Itarash. Sat's health is looking very bad right now. If Sat accidentally gets hit, Sat going for a very ballsy counter. Does make it into phase 3 though. Yeah, Sat taking no chances with this amount of health right now. Carter, meanwhile, entering Itarash. Going for the speed keep. We'll see if they're able to get it. Almost, barely bonked the door. Sat grabs the melee in the air. So Raven Beat separating both of these runners right now. See how Carter gets this Raven Beat fight. We'll see if they get a more better of a fight RNG than Sat did. Carter getting gold skip with no issue at all, going into phase 2 now. Meanwhile, Sat, all he needs to do is have a clean escape, not get eaten by RBX here. Carter going for a missile weave strat to finish off phase 2. Finishes off phase 2, entering phase 3 now. Sat starting his escape from ZDR. Tough phase 3 RNG for Carter. Good fight from Carter. Unfortunate phase 3 RNG. Sat looking to finish strong right now. Gets the sparks up in the escape. And with a final race time of 1:12.13, satorha is going to be the winner of this race. However, it was very close. We'll now switch to Carter's audio as they now finish off RBX and enter into their escape sequence. So, very close race. One of the closest of the tournament thus far, I believe. Good movement so far from karterfreak. Carter now heading up to the spark up for the end of the game right here. And with a final race time of 1:13.47, Carter will be finishing in second place. But a very well-fought race on both runners. Again, in my opinion, probably one of the closest races of the tournament thus far. So GG's again to both runners. We'll see if we can get Carter and Sat in here for an interview. All right. We have Sat in here now. Carter getting ready to join. Hello, Carter and Sat. Great race from both of you. I can't remember the last time I was like edge of my seat in this game for such a close race. So GG's to both of you. Fantastic job.
Thank you.
GG's. Yes.
A very defeated. Thank you, Carter. We were all very much upset with the storm missile.
I was robbed. Absolutely friggin' robbed, dude.
Wait, hold on. I tuned out of the restream after short boost because I saw I was like half a minute behind. So let me guess what happened.
You can't. There's no way you're gonna guess what happened.
I mean, you say you're getting scammed by storm missiles, and you sound really beat up by it. So I'm assuming that you ran out of missiles before Wave Emmy.
Surprisingly,
Not to
you
go
actually
back.
got it. Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Oh man, really?
I did storm missiles, and I guess one of the targets didn't get hit, and I only had 2 missiles left, so I had to go all the way back. I killed 5 enemies, all of them dropped health, and then I had to sit there and farm the saw like 4 times before it dropped enough missiles for me to keep going.
The only storm missile scam I had was entering space jump. I didn't have trouble with that. Oh, that is the worst place to just lose.
Yeah,
random.
it was
It can either be 15 seconds or like a full minute. So
yeah, because up to that point, Sat, you were only ahead of Carter by about 8 seconds. So it was still very close. Carter, you managed to take a pretty strong lead after short boost. So
even short boost didn't go well. I got like 2nd or 3rd try, and then I missed the turnaround quick charge, and I'm like, oh my god, you can't. Like, I hadn't missed that in practice like ever, and then of course during the race I miss it. Oh god.
yeah, I did say that. I was very excited that you did get it, but then I saw obviously the spark vanished, so you had to go back and get that short boost again, and obviously had a little bit of trouble grabbing it. But Sat, speaking of short boost, I want to know what was going on in your head with those short boost attempts, if you don't mind.
So before this race, I did short boost practice. I got 4 in a row like twice, and I was succeeding with nearly every setup imaginable. So I thought I was okay going in, but somewhere around exit Artaria, I saw my time. I saw that it was roughly 15 seconds below standard, and then I realized I was racing Carter, and then from that point on, I got really nervous. I don't know if anyone saw it. I wasn't trying to show it, but there was a point, I think it was on entering Hanubia, where my hand wouldn't stop shaking. I was in my own head for all of it. So, during the short boost attempts, I tried for 1 trip. I got a favorable down input, not the best one, but I got a favorable one. But I delayed my forward input too long, and it caused me to either get a guaranteed fail or a 1-frame store. I missed both anyway. So, from that point on, you guys know I died. And then,
Yeah, that death was
yeah,
the way that I was saying it was that because at that point there was still about a 40-ish second lead you had on Carter, and at that point Carter was able to make up the difference, and I thought they might take the lead because Carter, like you mentioned, you did get that the first try short boost, but weren't able to get the spark off. So
Yeah, missed the quick charge.
I think I got in like 20 attempts. I don't know how to say how much I abhor my performance today, but yeah, I know, right? Like it's like yesterday I was watching you, and I was hoping that the struggles with short boost yesterday wasn't gonna happen to either of us today, but I guess it passed on to me, so thanks for that.
You're welcome.
But yeah, I'm really disappointed in the death in particular. I should not have died. I recovered the airwalk, but I didn't flash shift towards the door, which would have saved my life. So either way, it was just a terrible situation. And then after I finished short boost, during the wind up time for the up left spark, I looked at the stream. I saw that Carter was already leaving the cold room, or something like that. Oh no, it wasn't that. It was that was later when I saw it again. It was something about Carter rolling through the tunnels, and then at that point I just closed the stream, and then I opened it again later to see if maybe potentially they had some struggles going to yellow TP. And then when I was in yellow TP, they were doing speed keep or something. I don't know. When I converted the delay in my head after seeing the timers, something Carter was 30 seconds ahead, and I mentally clocked out. After that, I couldn't do it. So after that point, I have literally no idea how the comparisons are.
Something that I do want to ask you really quick, Sat, because when you won your first race, and I asked you about how you felt about racing Carter, you did bring up a little bit of a teacher versus student vibe to it, because you did mention that Carter was one of your bigger inspirations for continuing to improve. Do you feel like this was and I mean death aside, short boost aside, do you feel like this was one of the best show-ins that you could have done between you and Carter? Or
well, I need some contact. Carter, were you watching the stream during the run?
I wasn't watching it, I was just looking at chat.
Okay. So from what I can gather, because the storm missile mistake only loses like a minute at worst, so the race time is there's a minute and 20-second gap, which means that with the 30 seconds that I was losing after short boost, I made up roughly 50 in average on movement by itself.
On movement, yeah, you were making a lot of time back on strictly movement.
And then on certain boss fights, excluding Barania bots, because I just autopiloted. On the rest of the boss fights, I decided to switch to single mashing as opposed to using my turbo button, because in my brain it was like, I don't want to do Carter like this. So I just switched to single mashing, which is thankfully very relative to my turbo anyway. But that being said, with regards to whether I've shown how much I've learned through the guidance of these amazing runners who teach not by way of directly teaching, but by way of uploading their runs and showing their skills and laying out the carpet for others to follow. The fact that I was able to make up nearly a minute on movement alone, even with the mistakes we both made, is proof positive, I think.
Yeah.
Anyone can just not copy, but anyone can look for guidance through the VODs of a top runner, no matter who they are, and just try to emulate what they do, and with enough intent in practice,
yeah,
you can
absolutely.
Do this too,
absolutely,
you know?
yeah.
And that's no knock against Carter. Carter played... with the short boost error, Carter played pretty damn close to PB, I think. So, like...
Minute 50 off, not bad.
Minute 50 off. The short boost took like, what, a minute? And then the storm missile stuff took another minute?
Yep.
You played phenomenally. I'm rambling. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this has definitely been one of the top races thus far, at least in my opinion. It was very close, back and forth, for a majority of the race. So
yeah, I was looking at chat at the end while I was while Carter was doing escape. I'm not gonna spoil the result, but apparently Oopla versus Destructor, which started half an hour before us, ended with a 4-second disparity.
Dang.
Oh wow.
4 whole seconds. I'm excited to see who won that, but let's not spoil it for anybody.
Exactly, and I was gonna go into my next point there, with starting with you, Sat. How do you feel about that potential Oopla versus Destructor race?
If I play like I did today, I am going to leave the bracket in 2 matches. So I need to knock out this tournament nerf, because most people who play alongside me or have heard me talk about the game know that I place a very strong emphasis on starting strong. my morph ball time was roughly 40 seconds below standard, which means that it was in my head forever. So if I can just start a run well, then I should be able to complete a low 110 or less every time. Honestly, at my level, I should be completing mid 109s or less every time, which would cement me for the next match. However, I have yet to prove that. So I'm really scared. Honestly, with my mentality right now, I would probably give either Oopla or Destructor 7-3 odds in their favor. So I can't stop playing anymore. I just have to keep going.
Yeah, completely understandable. I mean, especially like you were saying, you ordinarily hold yourself to significantly higher standards. So
Yes.
yeah, I completely understand that thought process. I mean, because I have a very similar standards competitively kind of a thing with myself. So Carter, and I did want to briefly touch on you, Carter, because it looks like you are going to be knocked into the losers bracket, unfortunately. But it looks like you'll be awaiting the potential winner of Sonic and Ace Breakers match, because whoever wins that goes to play on 3, and then the winner of that would go on to play you. So I wanted to ask how you thought about any of those 3 runners and potentially going on with that.
Well, I think honestly, any of them could end up winning against me, but I mean, I'm just gonna do my best. It's all I can do. It's the same coming into this match. Like, I came into this match not really expecting to be able to win. It was like kind of Sat's game to lose, but I was like, you know, I gotta just try my best. It's really all I can do. I can't be frustrated with results during race, because lots of things can happen, as we saw with Storm Missiles and various other things in that run. So, you know.
Yeah, I mean, race settings are crazy. So
I mean, that run started with me having my having snapback on my controller on the very first door. So I was like, well, you know, this is off to a great start.
Yeah, when I started, I missed 4 missiles on the Clada, bonked it, also missed the melee off the steps. So I guess both of us had a really rough start.
Sometimes just that's how it goes. You just gotta do your best, right?
You were definitely nervous, right? I don't know who out-nerved each other this race. I couldn't tell you.
Well, despite the nerves, you guys did have, again, in my opinion, one of the races so far of the tournament. Once again, if you guys are not following either of these runners, here are their links. If you'd like to follow me, I am also participating in this tournament as in the Thoha bracket, but I am also competing in this tournament, racing actually on Sunday. Carter and or Sat, is there anything else that you guys want to mention before we start wrapping up?
I'll let Carter go first here if they have anything to say.
Go and win the whole thing, Sat. That's it.
Oh, I mean, I'll try. On that topic, if I get past the French gauntlet coming up, I don't know who won. So either way, they're very similar. I might as well be playing against the both of them at the same time, right? But if I get past them, then I'm probably going against B-Dog. No, I'm going against whoever wins between B-Dog and Arc, which will I don't know who to, I'm giving
Arc
bias
and
to
or
B-Dog there.
Banana
Right.
Steve, since
Yeah, Arc and
they
then
still need to do
Steve,
their
and then,
race.
and then B-Dog and Arc. Assuming that majority % chance is the concrete, I would give the hand to Arc Candy in his matchup, and I would give the hand to B-Dog in that matchup. So it is very likely I'm against B-Dog. I'm sorry, Carter, but I'm giving myself 1-9 odds in that one. So
yeah, B-Dog is
I'll try
playing
my
out of his
best.
mind.
B-Dog is playing the best Dread I think he's ever played ever. Again, for the
agreed.
5th time.
Agreed.
So,
yeah.
That's a good point too. For the 5th time.
Yeah, he doesn't rust, and if he does rust, it's fake rust, and he builds more steps off of the rust that he shed. I don't understand. But I mean, okay. So other than the tournament talk, I want to use this time to seriously thank Carter for picking up the game, because I don't think I would be playing if I didn't have the resources that runners like Carter and Oates and Hard Pelican have given to the scene. I always found Oates like kind of unapproachable since his stream is huge.
Yeah.
And his VODs are like, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on screen and stuff, but with Carter there was just a really cute dog and really supportive people, and the stream was a bit smaller. Except the VOD had 100k views and he had like 15 million world records. So like I don't know, just looking at that, I looked at it and I said I want to be that. You know? So seriously, Carter, you've done so much for this community. And this tournament be damned, just keep doing it, you know? I respect you so much, man.
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
So
I want to kind of also kind of like leapfrog on what Sat was saying, because yeah, I'm also very appreciative of what you've done for the game and the community, all that. You are a very approachable and respectable person, so yeah, keep on doing you, Carter.
I will always be a Carter fan. That will never change. And then after that, I mean, if you want me to win it all, I'm gonna have to argue that you need to at least be in the loser side of grand finals. I think both odds are slightly difficult for both of us, but we'll do what we can. And if you go far enough and I get knocked down by B-Dog, it's likely that we'll meet again, maybe.
Probably. I'm gonna try and get to at least losers semi, if not losers finals. So that's my goal right now.
Best of luck with everything you do in this tournament and beyond.
Same to you.
That's all I got to say. I'm tapped out. Sorry.
Understandable. Well, once again, GG's to both of you. GG for winning the race, Sat and Carter for putting on one hell of a show. I believe there are still more races going on. But I think for now that is going to do it. Thank you guys so much again for the race and for outstanding post-race interviews and all that. We will see everyone during the next mission. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. Thank you for watching.